Welcome to Blooming Wildwood Homestead. Sometimes you do a walkabout and it's absolutely amazing. Other times you come out to the garden and you wonder what in the world happened. So I had some transplants that I just put out, some brassicas. I put them out probably a couple of weeks ago. And things were kind of looking good, even though we've had a drought and a lot of things that are stressing the plants. They were looking fairly decent overall. But I've noticed lately things have really gone downhill and it has been sad. So what's been going on? I think the problem is, one, the stress from the drought and the transplanting, but also we've had some flea beetle activity. And so I want to show you that today and show you what we're going to do to try and solve that problem. And so this bed right here is what's been causing me some distress lately. This is our fall planting. So I started these from seed the end of June, and I just transplanted them out a couple weeks ago, like I said, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And this whole bed was full. Now, obviously, we're dealing with a drought, so I know some of the issues could have been stress and water, but I also feel like the plants have just been extra stressed due to the drought. I think it's making them more susceptible to insect damage. So as you can see, I've lost quite a few plants in this bed. Some of them due to dehydration, just can't keep enough water on them. So that's why we have recently gotten the soaker hose laid down, and then some of them due to the insect damage. And what we've got going on is flea beetles. Alright, I'm trying to go in close, so pardon me if the camera is not 100% steady. You can see here, we've got some leaf damage. So there are some holes in the leaf. You can see on this one, the whole side is completely gone. We've got some more leaf damage there. And what is happening is we've got some flea beetles. Flea beetles are tiny black bugs. You can see them right now on the end of the leaf. We've got some right there. We've got some right there. And they will hop when you get close to them, just like a flea. And they get in there and they eat on the leaves. Pests like to prey on plants that are just not as strong. So a couple of things that have happened here. Obviously, I've already talked about the drought, but the second thing that I think may have contributed to this, when I planted the seeds, normally I put some type of fertilizer in with the potting mix, and opted not to do that this time because we knew they were fall planting and I was planning to just put them straight out into the ground as soon as possible, and figured that the compost that I had would be enough. I'm thinking that in combination, not having that extra boost of fertilizer, not having the water needs met because of the drought that we're dealing with, I think that it stressed the plants a little bit more and made them more susceptible and prone to insect damage. So what are we going to do about that? That's what we're going to deal with today. I like to try and keep things as organic as possible, and so we're going to put up yellow sticky trap. If you've seen my other video, I'll link to it above, on the cucumber beetles. You know it didn't work for those beetles, but these are much more lightweight and they do like to fly around, hop around, so I think that'll be helpful. So I'm going to put up the yellow sticky traps, and then we're going to put a little bit of diatomaceous earth around. Since these are early on in the season, they don't have any of the heads forming yet or anything like that, and so we won't have any problems with it being on the food portion, and hopefully the diatomaceous earth will go ahead and take care of our issues. So let's see if we can get a couple of those things done and see if it takes care of the problem. We're gonna try and get some of these guys on a preliminary pass and then see if it works. I don't know. So here I'm just going ahead and flicking it just a little bit, and you can see we've already got some flea beetles stuck to the sticky trap. They do like to hop. Okay, so the good news is these guys are sticking to the sticky trap, which means that's going to work. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up near the plants so that hopefully it can grab some of those guys, and then we'll go ahead and sprinkle some diatomaceous earth. And on to our next step. So here I have some diatomaceous earth, and like I said, this is supposed to be safe, no problems there, but you do want to make sure that you're not breathing it in. So I am going to take some precautions and make sure that I'm not touching it with my hands. I'll use gloves, and I just want to make sure I'm not doing it on a really windy day where I'm going to have the potential to get it on in my face or something like that. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on the leaves and a little bit around the soil, because the flea beetles can also attack down at the base of the plant and kind of hack off the stem, very similar to the cucumber beetle, except for so much smaller you can barely see them. So I'm just going to put a little bit around, and hopefully this will help to control the situation. I hope that today's video was helpful, and as you are dealing with trying to figure out how to handle insect issues, I really want you to think about how what you're doing impacts the rest of the insects around the area as well. One of the things that I'm constantly aware of and reminded of is just that whatever I'm doing to try and control the pests can also hinder the good insects that we have in our garden. And so you just want to be thinking about that and mindful of that when you decide what it is that you're going to do to control issues. And the other thing that I try and figure out is if there's a natural way to handle it, I want to do that first. And decide really what is the severity of the situation. Is it just an annoyance, or is it an issue that's causing issues with the crop and going to hinder our harvest? Which in this case, as you can see, we've had a lot of damage here, and it's definitely hindering our fall production, and something needed to be done. So I hope today's video was informative and helpful, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye everyone.